I'm like, say what? I just watched something very good, yeah. Really beautiful, amazing. It just made me reflect on myself, on what I had been going through, about having complexes of not being able to fit anywhere in society. And that's exactly what has happened to me during my almost my whole life. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. Well, the thing is, all my life, I've, as I said before, I've seen almost so many cultures in my life, and I feel like I've visited the whole world, or as if I've just traveled the whole world and seen as many cultures as I could, all kinds of people, and I've always found it hard. I learned to live. I learned to be comfortable being in any kind of an environment, simply because I did not identify myself with any kind of culture. Because I don't know, I can't identify myself with any kind of a culture. According to my family, we it's so mixed up with so much blood during generations and generation, mixture of different kind of bloodlines of different cultures, that I don't know what kind of a identity I should adapt as my own identity for culture. And if in spiritualism we are dealing with consciousness, it's much easy. You don't identify yourself with anything, so you can't say I am this, I am white or black or blue or green or yellow, whatever color you are. But I'd always faced some kind of a small complex about not knowing really where I belonged. I remember once I was in high school and I was coming out of school, and then there was this fair-skinned girl. She's African, by the way, African origin, but she's fair-skinned, too white for her culture. And she used to consider herself as somebody very beautiful and attractive, and everybody should give attention to her. And as I was going out of school and I was crossing across the road, she started a conversation with me. She knew my name, and I was surprised how she knew my name and I didn't know her. And she was like, yeah, the kind of ethnicity that you have is what is supposed to be my ethnicity, and my ethnicity is supposed to be your ethnicity. And I was like, what's she talking about? Because I didn't realize anything, and I just love people and I love interacting with people, but I never look at people according to their ethnicity or culture or color or anything. I just see you as a person, and I guess that is what God has given me. And sometimes it's very hard for me. I am black-skinned, but sometimes I forget that. And until I look in the mirror and then I see my skin color and I'm like, oh, okay, so you're black skinned. And I forget that. I always forget that I'm black skinned because I'm always among white skinned people. And this girl was like, you should be me and I should be you. And I said, how is that? And she was like, you see, I am white-skinned, she said, and my complexion and everything is just meant for a culture like yours, and you are like me, because I think she was seeing me as African. So I was like, what the heck? And I couldn't answer. I was just staring at her wide mouth. And I was like, no, what's going on? Because I have black skin, but I'm not totally African. I don't know. Maybe the reason why I have black skin is because of some African lineage in my family background. And my dad, my dad is also funny in his skin complexion, because the places where he's got a sunburned, it's black, and the places where it's not, it's white. My late dad, he's passed away, by the way. Anyway, it's funny, and I have one sister who is almost light skinned. The rest are dark skinned. Yeah, and the complexions are not the same. They are all different and varying from different complexions. I don't know. I can't explain that. But we have a lot of cultures in our lineage, in our bloodline. So many cultures. I guess it's almost the whole world's culture in our bloodline, I think, because of all the mixed marriages due to political reasons. And this girl was here telling me that I should be her and she should be me. And I was like, okay, if that is what you think. And I said, okay, bye. And I went away. But I never thought much about it in any way. And I wasn't complexed about it in any way. But during my school years, during my lifetime, I could never identify myself with anyone, because I have Arabic, I have African, there is some white somewhere, there is a lot of things, there is probably even some Asian something, Indian blood, there is, but there's a lot of things, and when I mixed, most of the time when I was growing up, there were Indians. Then later on, there were white-skinned people most of the time. But during the time when I was with Indians, the Indians would treat me like I was one of them. When I was with Arabs, the Arabs would treat me like I was one of them. When I'm with Africans, they would also treat me like I was one of them. And it gave me some confusion then, and I could not identify myself with any of them. Although I could not, and that complex of not being able to identify myself with any kind of culture was just something about me. It was not coming from the people who I was interacting with. People always accepted me for who I was. And nobody ever asked me who I was or what culture I was or anything. Nobody. I just interacted with people for who they were. You're a person, you're a human being, you're somebody I could talk to, you're friendly, fine, that's good with me, and I'm talking with you. And that's all that mattered. But until now, just a while back, I was watching something to do with albinism, and this lady, she was not able to put herself in any way, white or black or anything. And I didn't realize that such kind of a thing was really something that could be a complex to people. Even albinism, okay, albinism for thinking that maybe they don't have skin color or anything. But this thing about racism, about skin color and everything, it's just nonsense, really nonsense. Because each and every person, whomever you cut their skin, whatever color they are, inside, everyone's blood is red, everyone's veins are blue, everyone's arteries are pink, red, or what. Everyone's heart is the same color. All the organs are the same color. It's only the cover which is different color. And that the reason for that is because the Most High wanted us to identify ourselves with differentiation, and that's all. But it doesn't change your inside organs or anything. Everyone's organs is almost the same. Nobody can say that my organ is blue and your organ is green. The inside is the same. And the lady was talking about beauty is within. And that's the beauty inside us. The outer cover, the skin, is just a cover. It's just like you can cover your bed with any kind of blanket or any kind of color, but the bed is just that bed. It's the same thing. It's a cover, and that's all. I don't mean you can change that. No, you can't. But it's only a cover to differentiate people from one another so that they can identify each other. And of course, there is something like facial features, facial differences of eyebrows and nose and lips and whatever. But it still adds up to the same thing, and I didn't realize that I had that complex of not being able to, that complex was there, but I never gave any importance to it. And it's until I watched this thing that I was reminded about that kind of a complex. And I'm thankful and grateful that I've always been accepted by people, no matter where I go. And I'm so thankful and grateful to all of them, each and every person. May God bless each and every person that I've come across in this world to this day, all my life. Because I've had cruel people, mean people in my life, but they've never lasted long. They've only lasted for a short time. Mostly it was generally 90% was good people, and 10% was the mean ones. And you can't concentrate your life on the 10% when your 90% is lying out there. 90%. And that's also another law of nature. 90% of life's things are good and 10% are bad. And so it's up to you to choose whether you want to choose the 90% or 10%. Are you going to focus on the 90 or the 10? Which one? So that's what came to my mind, and that's what I'm guided to share right now. And I hope this helps somebody. It's not the way you look, or because, for example, I'm small, petite. Je suis petite. Yeah, I mean, I'm small. So, and because I was small, it was hard in socializing sometimes, because most of my friends were having very huge bodies and whatever, and I always was the smallest one in a crowd, and I was always the one getting the attention because of my appearance. I don't know how I look to people, but I hope it was in a good way, because I in a crowd I was always getting the attention because of my appearance, or my I don't know, I cannot explain in any way how I look, how whatever, because I know one, I am small. I know I am not right now I'm neither fat nor thin, but most of my life I've always been thin. And I remember up to the age of 35, my weight was always around 35 or 8 or 38. And I have a pixie-like face. Maybe that's what creating attention, I don't know. And I look childlike because there was a time there was a time I was a teacher and I was teaching, and I one day I dressed up just like all the students. They were dressed in black and white. I had a white blouse and black trousers. And as I was coming down the stairs, I was a teacher and I'd come to give homework to the students, and I was leaving the teacher's room. And one of the kids saw me, and this kid is only around 11 years old, or was it 10 years? And this kid, when he saw me, he was like, "Oh, we have a new student in school." Because I was looking like I was a foreign student who had just come to the school. And the kid was almost, I can't say my height, no, really, yeah, he was almost my height. And I was like, what? And behind me there was an English teacher, a male English teacher, and he was listening to our conversation. And I was like, what? And the kid is saying, "Yeah, welcome to our school. You're new. What's?" And he was like, "So when did you come?" And I said, "It's only about 2 weeks." And the kid is like, "Ah, that's nice. So you're used to the place right now?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I am a little bit." And then he said, "So which class are you in?" And I said, "How do I explain this? Because I'm teaching lower grade as well as high school first class for the first grade in high school." And I was, "What do you mean?" And I said, "I'm a teacher." And the kid was, "What?" And he started getting angry, and he was like, "What are you talking about? You're also a student. Please don't make fun of me. I'm trying to be kind to you by welcoming you here." And I was like, "Child," and I'm like, "Child, no, you're getting me wrong. Look, you can even ask this male teacher. I'm a teacher here." And the kid was so disappointed that I was not a student, but he mistook me to be a student because of the way I physically looked. And it was so funny. The male teacher was laughing vigorously at the conversation of what he had overheard. And he was really laughing, and I'm sorry, but I'm one of your teachers, and maybe I'm not teaching your class, but I teach other classes." And the kid was so disappointed, but he still didn't believe me, and he was thinking I was making a joke of him, and he went away so angry. Anyway, so that's what I want to say is the way people get complexes over how they look because of physical form, of physical color, of skin, and everything. But it's okay to be different. It's okay to be to be the one who can be pointed out in a crowd, because sometimes it's good for you. But at the same time, no one should be ashamed of how they are just because they look different from other people. Because we are all coming from the Most High. We are all one. And if you're religious and you believe in Adam and Eve, you would know that we are all coming from one person, and that is from Adam. Because from Adam, Eve was created through his rib. And we are all one. So it doesn't matter how we all look like, and it's only to identify ourselves and differentiate ourselves from each other, and not to get into any kind of complexes. And if God has created us the way He has created, there is a very good, wise reason as to why He created us the way He is. And I'm thankful and grateful for how He has created me. Although I still I'm still not knowing how to identify myself, because if somebody comes and asks me, "What are you?" I won't be able to really explain, because there's a lot of things I will have to explain in order to get to who I really am. And, and there's still a lot of mystery over that. In any way, I have some things I have to research on that, about my family lineage and everything. Anyway, that's what I'm guided to share with all of you, and I hope everyone gets to have the privilege of loving themselves and knowing that the difference they create in any kind of society is a privilege too, and they should be happy about that. Take care, everyone, and God bless.